Okay, so this exercise is just to show you exactly how we estimate the beta for a company. Now, having said all this about explaining all these concepts, you can actually download a beta published by a vendor, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg. There are series of several vendors that would do that. But I wanted just to show you, remove the mystery of that number by showing you exactly how you would obtain that using Excel. All right. So let's do that. Let's suppose that you downloaded this historical information for Google, and let's remember what you're trying to find the beta for Google, right? Let's remember what the formula indicates. The formula says to find the beta for a company, just find the standard deviation of that company's returns or prices, right? Divide that by the standard deviation of the returns of the market, and multiply that ratio times the correlation between your company I, in this case is Google, right? I is like for any company, and the market M. So let's find these three components. All right. So here I am. I'm assuming that I downloaded this information for up to April 1st, 2018. Okay, this is historical information, and I downloaded the prices for the S&P 500. That is my stock market index. That's my M, my market. Okay. I could have chosen another index if I so preferred, but the S&P 500 is basically the average price of the 500 largest and most actively traded companies in the U.S. market. In any other market, you would choose the index that reflects the largest companies in your market. So always try to use the most actively traded companies, and every stock index has that. Every stock index will show you the average price of the most actively traded companies. So in my example, I'm using the S&P 500, and I downloaded the price. So this price right here for May of 2015 is the average price of the 500 largest companies in this market. Okay, and the average is adjusted in several ways, but basically think of this as the average price. Okay, when this price goes from 221.07 to 2063, what happened to the market in this 1 month period? The market fell. So the economy, let's say, there was a negative impact in the economy, right? There was a lowering of the stock market during that period of time. Okay, that's how we're measuring economic activity, and that's how we're measuring whether the economy is doing better or worse, through the stock market. Okay, so I have historical prices from May of 2015 up until April of 2018, okay, for the market. I also downloaded the prices for this company, for Google. Okay, so assume that you download prices, and I'll show you this in a few minutes, but you download prices for Google stock, and the prices have gone from May of 2015 from $545 per share to $1,032 per share as of April of 2018. So these are my two historical time series. Okay. Now, what I need to do is find the standard deviation, the volatility of my company and that of the market. Okay, and these sigmas, these symbols of standard deviation, okay, are the ones that are going to be populated right here. So I'm going to find the standard deviation for the market and for my company. Then I'm going to find the correlation coefficient between the two. That's the row right here. Okay, and I'm going to do all that in Excel. So let's start. To find the volatility, I have to convert these prices. These are in dollar terms, right, to returns, to percentage changes in price. And the reason why we do have to do that is because sometimes some companies can be worth $545, others can be worth $10 or $15, right, or $8. So in order to make sure that the magnitude of the prices are not affecting us, we convert all prices to returns, to percentage changes in value. Okay, so think of volatility as the volatility of returns. Of course, you find returns thanks to market prices. So let me show you how that's done. If we went from 201.07 to 2063 in 1 month time, what was the percentage change in price? You could see that the price fell, so the percentage change in price should have been, of course, negative, right? Let's see. Equal sign, open parentheses. Okay. What is the end price? Remember, it's P1 minus P sub 0 divided by P sub 0. Remember that return calculation? So what is P1? What is the last price? Well, since this is going from oldest to newest, right, then my most recent price is right here. So I'm going to click on this. Okay. Minus, what is my previous price? My previous price is right here. So that's P1 minus P sub 0 divided by, so close parentheses, then slash there, the previous price. Okay. And that means that there was a 2% fall in value in the market during this month. Why did I not start here on the first row? Because since I need a previous price, P1 minus P sub 0, if I'm looking at the first observation, the first line, there is no previous price, so I'm not going to be able to get this first row. Okay. All right. Just to make it easy for ourselves, I'm just going to drag this to the right, and then when I do, it automatically does the same thing for Google. If you don't believe this or you want to check yourself, double click and notice that I have just dragged the same operations, so it's repeating the same thing I did here, but now because I've moved it to the right, it moves everything to the right, and so I am finding the return for Google. So what we did here manually, by dragging it, I am automatically telling Excel, well, do the same thing, but just translate, right, my calculations one space to the right, one column to the right. The nice thing is that once you do that, you can just double click on the bottom right corner here, and it will repeat everything we've done for all of the time series. So we have basically a returns column. We went from a price column to a returns column. All right. Now that we have returns, then it's easy because we just need to find the standard deviation of these returns for the market and the standard deviation for these returns for the company. Remember, the standard deviation is how volatile this has been. Sometimes we get a negative return. Sometimes then the price goes up again, down, up. You see how this goes? So that going up and down means a certain volatility. Let's find out what volatility the market has had during this last, from 2015, 16, 17, 18, so this 3-year period. So I'm using a historical time series of 3 years in order to estimate my beta. If somebody else uses it 5 years, then even if they're using the same S&P 500 and the same company, because they're using a different time period, they will get a different beta than what I'm getting. This is what I meant by consistency, right? So if you're going to use 3 years of monthly data, then always stick to that, because that's how you can be consistent.